Welcome back, Kaiju fans. Today we're going to be talking about some more action figure news for Godzilla 2. This is in regards to the statement that has come out of San Diego Comic-Con, reported on by Gomaru Island, that NECA is going to be doing a line for Godzilla 2 that right now allegedly involves, quote, all monsters, unquote, from that film. Unknown as to whether or not this means they're actually going to do just the big four, so Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah, or if they plan on making other non-specific kaiju that might appear in the film, the other titans that are probably just fodder kaiju. We don't know. I'm going to assume that they're probably just going to do the big four. Now, this is good news, but I also have my concerns. As we know, NECA is not always known for the greatest Godzilla action figures. I don't think we have to worry too much this time about a bad mold, considering the 2014 Sculpt figure was actually pretty good because they just literally used the data files from the film CG model, and they didn't have to get anybody to try to sculpt a recreation of the suit. So we should have an accurate representation of the kaiju as long as they go to that same route. Just use the files from the film, print straight to new kind of mold, and make the parts that way. I think that would be a good idea. That'd be the best way to go about doing that. It's cheap, it's effective. You don't have to hire a modeler that potentially could get stuff wrong. It's going to appear right the same way that it does in the film. So hopefully they do that again, and they don't try to sculpt up something that is going to turn out really bad like the 84. And really the Heisei ones aren't that great either, let's be real. That jaw though. But that is what I'm hoping for. Now, looking back on the past, NECA did a really good job with the Pacific Rim kaiju. The Jaegers were the cheap figures, so they'd be like the Godzilla equivalents that we got now. But the kaiju, since they were larger, they got more deluxe figures. They were a little bit bigger, and this means they were more money. Taking an example how good of a figure Otachi was, the two forms, the flying and the land form, but those figures started at like $60 and went anywhere up from there depending on where you bought it from and when you bought it from. So I can only assume that maybe Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan would be the $20, $25, maybe $30 price range figures, because they're going to be a little bit smaller kaiju, a little less intricate, not too much going on. But Ghidorah will probably come out as one of the NECA Deluxe figures in a larger cardboard box like Otachi was, especially since Ghidorah is a more complex monster. It's going to be really big. There's going to be a lot more work that goes into making that figure, especially with the two tails being the articulated, all three necks, the wings, and the legs, as opposed to just your normal appendages we're going to see on the other kaiju, or no appendages like Mothra. So we can expect Ghidorah to be $60 or more, probably a rarer figure, harder to get our hands on. So just be prepared for that. If you're expecting to get a cheap, really good Ghidorah figure, you're probably mistaken, because it's going to at least start at $60, going off of the way that NECA has done kaiju figures in the past. And I don't think they're going to change the formula now, and if Ghidorah does come out and it's $30, let me tell you, that figure is not going to be a good figure. It probably will fall apart, or it won't look that great. So be prepared. I just want to warn you now. Don't get your hopes up for a $30 Ghidorah figure that's going to be immaculate, super articulated. You're probably, if you want a $30 Ghidorah figure, you're probably looking at whatever Bandai releases as just a regular vinyl. Unless they do a Master Grade series like they did with the NECA Godzilla. We won't know until we get more news on that, but I just want to let you guys know about that. Set expectations. Probably a deluxe figure for Ghidorah, and then the standards for the other kaiju. And who knows about the miscellaneous monsters that might show up. I don't know if NECA would consider making figures of those, because we don't really know what kind of interest that people would have in buying the kaiju that they don't really know. They did it a lot for Pacific Rim with video game exclusive Jaegers that had a foot cameo for 0.2 seconds in the film. They made all those into Jaegers, but I think it was easier to sell the Jaegers because they were the good guys and everybody wanted the good guys. But getting these random monsters that might show up in the film for a brief moment or two, who knows how well those would actually sell. I'm pretty sure only like super diehard collectors like us might consider buying them just to have a version of that kaiju, especially if Bandai doesn't put anything out. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that stuff. If any more news on this comes out, or if we get any pictures related to, I will update you guys. But for the time being, I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.